Hey, what is up, guys? This is SSF38 or Daniel here to show you something. You guys are looking at like, okay, that's a Windows 10 desktop, and I'll say you're right. But actually, if it loads up, this is actually a Windows Server 2016. They just released it like a month ago, and I just got my copy. Yeah, they released it September 26th, and then to manufacturing October 12th, 8 days ago, to the public. Now, some of you are wondering, okay, it's different. Yes, it looks the same as a Windows 10 desktop. Well, yeah, they actually are now. If you remember back a year ago when they were announcing Windows 10, what they were trying to do is make it Windows, just Windows 1. They really couldn't do that, so of course Windows 10. So they want everything to be unified. They wanted Windows 10, Windows Server 2016, Xbox One, Windows Mobile Windows Mobile 10, all unified into one. And that's what they're doing. That's why down here they don't have it saying Windows Server 2016 anymore. They have a desktop. Of course, you get the same Server Manager. Now, the Server Manager, this is default Server Manager. I added a few things just for this. But at first, this actually is what it is. You do have to install a few things just to get this guy running so you can share files right off the bat. Now, first things first is that network access protection was depreciated. So DHCP doesn't support network access protection anymore. So they took that out. The DNS has been reconfigured with new PowerShell commandlets and parameters, enhanced support for computers with more than one network interface. So which means if you have a computer with two NIC cards, then you can the server can still read that. Windows Server Gateway now supports generic routing, GRE tunnels. You got IP management better for 31, 32, and 128 subnets for your DNS, DHCP, and IP address management. Network controllers have changed. Hyper-V virtualization has been redone with VXLAN encryption support. But most importantly, they actually did change some other stuff. They added Active Directory Federation services. So if I go here, I'll show you. Now, of course, this is my home server, so I have it named home. So they have this guy right here. They added this guy. They added Windows Defender installed the default, even without the GUI. Of course, I have GUI installed on mine. Remote Desktop Services now supports OpenGL 44 and OpenCL 1.1. Performance and stability improvements and multi-point service roles, so you can have a multi-point server set up. Failover clustering, application proxy. Now this has ISS or IIS 10, which supports HTTP2 with PowerShell 5.1. They also added a few other things. They added, where was it? I just saw it. But they added other things like mini servers, so you can have multiple servers that doesn't have as much on them that can control from one area, stuff like that. Their features have changed. Their start menu is now this guy. It's the regular Windows 10 start menu. Of course, you see I have Plex server, I have Google Chrome, and I have Java installed. I have all this stuff installed because I use it. And if you notice also, there is no Microsoft Edge. They don't install Edge on here. They still use Internet Explorer 11. That's what they use. So you still keep that. But yeah. What is it? Oh, here it goes. So actually, it's called Nano Server. So here's what they said. Microsoft announced a new installation option, Nano Server, which offers a minimal footprint, headless version of Windows Server. It excludes the graphical user interface, while 64 support for 32-bit software and Windows installer. It does not support console login, either locally or via remote desktop connection. And all management is performed remotely via Windows Management Instrumental, Windows PowerShell, and Remote Session Manager tools. So it does run that, but as you see, it also Windows or Internet Explorer 11 is still being supported. You know, they said that they weren't going to do that anymore. They also changed how you add users. In the past, you had to go to your Windows Administrative, go to Users, go jump through hoops. If you notice, Users isn't here. They actually put it back in User Accounts. And as you see, manage another account. So you can add users here just fine. And this is all it does. It just asks for the username that you want to put as, passwords, and password hint. Of course, I'm using a Windows Server Standard. I'm not using Windows Server Data Center or the other one, which is Essentials. So I'm not using any of that. I'm just using Windows Server. So the installation size of this is smaller, which is nice. When I tested it, it had a bigger installation size with Windows 2012 than it did on this one. So the installation is smaller. It's a lot more compact. But the ISOs are bigger. It was a 5 gig ISO for the standard, but mine also includes standard and data center. Because I have a, I'm with my, or I have a, our school I'm with has an agreement with Microsoft where I could get licenses and stuff for testing purposes and educational purposes only, which is this testing and educational, but I am also, but yeah, I'm also running like a Plex server and stuff like that. So what you're seeing here, let me pull this up. Just to give you an idea of what is going on, because the pricing is the same. So notice I'm pulling up Chrome because Chrome doesn't fall with Google's stuff. So it should not take this long. I don't know. Oh yeah. I'm burning up some core processors because I'm actually utilizing Plex on my home TV right now through Raspberry Pi. I'm actually streaming a movie for my wife to watch. But as you see, Essentials is for small business for up to 25 users and 50 devices. It's $500. Standard, which is what I'm using right here, is $882 per license. And of course, data center is $6,155. Because this one, they think that you're going to use the same installation, same key across multiple computers, multiple servers, multiple racks, everything. This one, they think that it's going to be one person or one computer, maybe two computers, something like that. Set up, one for Active Directory services, one for DNS, maybe one for DHCP, one for file server. So that's what this one is for. This one, they just think that you're just going to put it all on one computer and that's it. And you see, they don't even show what Essentials does. But as you see, the different features, core functionality, the OSCs, standard you're only limited to 2, while data center you're unlimited. Server containers is unlimited. Host guardian sources, you get nano server, but then that's where it stops because data center is supposed to have more. It's for data centers. Now I am running this out of a Windows desktop connection just so I can push, just so I work on it every once in a while. I actually installed this earlier this morning, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Put all the stuff on it and got it working. Now I will say this, I'm actually gonna push some things around. I'm gonna show you my desktop if I can do my there. So right here I have 2 shared server or 2 shared file or folders between. Let me pull up my drive. I know I'm working on this guy, but just so you know, between the two, oh, okay. So you can so right now they actually utilize more of network locations for the file services, which is, which is this guy right here. The file services. So now they refix it to where you have to use a login and stuff like that. On 2012 R2 data center, that's what I was using before to test my differences. I was able to share or pull. I was able to utilize add network location, put in my drives I didn't want to share as network locations. I want to actually log in. And I was able to just do that without logging in, put stuff on it, drag stuff off on multiple computers with multiple usernames. And that was a big security problem. Now, I have to log in to each one of these. Now, of course, you see these are shared on the same hard drive. Ideally, it shouldn't be like that. It all should have multiple separate drives. So they fixed this up to have it where it's all spread around. You have to log in now. You have to do all that. And of course, you have the SMB, which is Sambas. And you got your work folders. So they all are working. I haven't created one because it just doesn't want to work for me for some odd reason. And of course, I only have one volume on here, which is C. And for me, this is all I need. Now, some of you might be asking, okay, can I run a game? Can I do stuff like that? And actually, you can't. Now, what I did is, I just put Minecraft in a shared folder. As you see, it's right there. I have my server start.bat, my batch file. And you can run games. That's why I have Java on here, but Java JDK 8, the latest one. So I have all that on here. So I can run stuff, I can test stuff. This is like a testing server. This is stuff like that. Of course, I don't run games on it 24/7. You can run stuff like Steam CDM or CMD, which is command server line or command line for servers. You can run Minecraft. You can run stuff like that. That allows you to run servers. So you can run stuff like that. You can run team viewers. You can run all that. VLCs, VMCs. VNCs, not VLCs. VNCs, VPNs, FTPs, websites, stuff like that. It's just remember that it's going to be more. There's going to be more to it because there's a GUI if you install it with the GUI access, like I do. So be on the safe side. Just be careful with that. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. Do I recommend you get Windows Server? Unless you need it for, let's say, a business sense. No, not really. I mean, I only have it because I'm testing it through my schools. So I got a free license to do it for one installation at a time. Here's my one installation. Is it really necessary for it? No, I say no. I mean, I could run a server. I'm gonna put up my my camera really quick. I didn't even add it. I could actually run a server off of this. This is a Raspberry Pi, and this is a Raspberry Pi. This is Raspberry Pi 2. What I have down here is 3, which is streaming from this server to there. If you're a home user and let's say you just want to host like a website or something, and you have the capabilities of pushing through your ports and stuff, this is all you need, essentially. Raspberry Pi with a Linux operating system. I mean, I got multiples. I have that one right there. Actually, this one's broken. This one's dead. Or not. This is broken, so I use this as a dummy to show. But you could run Windows, or not Windows. You could run a Linux operating system off of this Raspbian. You can do everything that you want. Run a website, email. Although I wouldn't recommend email, but website at least. As a home. But for business, for small businesses, like let's say you have a shop and you just want to have something that stores all your data to it, then yes, run a server. Run a server. You'll see everything that is going on. You'll be able to keep everything together. If you're running if you're running like multiple, or not multiple computers, but if you have a business with multiple users and small business, again, yes, you get to see all the stuff gets stored on a server, not onto computers. You don't have to worry about individual computers failing or losing all the files. But I do recommend keep it separate. So if you have Active Directory, directory services, DNS and DHCP, all like DNS, DHCP in one server. Have ADDS on one server, and have your file server on a separate server, just so that way you can keep stuff redundant. And then of course, in the Enterprise Edition or Enterprise World, of course, you're running it anyways. Although I had to tell some people to quickly get it going because we needed it, and this was IKEA, which is slow to upgrade. But do I recommend? Let me take off my camera. Do I recommend Windows Server? At home, no. Small business and above, yes. It's a way to keep your network secure. It's a way to keep everything remote. And if you really want, you can have multiple people on the same computer, or multiple computers where people will switch. Or let me put back on. So you can have one person on multiple computers. Like, let me grab a laptop here really quick. My wife using it. But you can have, let's say you have a laptop and a desktop and stuff like that. You can do that. Go between the two. Say you have multiple desktops and you're sharing, and you have multiple people sharing multiple desktops, which at an older job, that's how we worked. And we all had individual, there's multiple user accounts on each one, so it's like, or we shared one account. Don't ever do that. But do I recommend being able to do this? Do I recommend it for home? Not really. Unless you want to just share files in between. Linux, Raspberry Pi, just run a Linux computer, Linux server, Samba, and do it that way. If you really want to, if you have the money, then do it. You can rate it, you can do all that stuff. Alright, this is Daniel signing out.